Hello again. We're here in Oklahoma with spooky stories from Indian country. I'm going to turn the time over to David EchoHawk.
Oh, Chris, thank you very much. You know, the stories that we've been talking or telling, is stories that we can all relate to or get into or like to listen to once down the road here as things take off for what Chris is trying to do and is doing. And but today, I want to. It's almost like a story that I told a couple weeks ago, Chris. And if you recall, it had to do with a Cooksahoodix, a Pawnee Scalp Man. And
Oh,
and I told a story a couple weeks ago about that. But what I
mm,
would like to say is that there's also a family story connected to a Cooksahoodix. Back when the
mm.
Pawnees was leaving Nebraska and heading down to Oklahoma, they had just crossed over. Now, this is the third group. They came down in three groups, Chris, and this is the third group. And the leader of the third group was actually a relative of mine. His name was Baptiste Bayhylle. And he
Mm.
was the leader of this third group. And they came in and they were up on the Nebraska-Kansas state line. And they had wagons and cattle and horses, and they were making their way to Oklahoma. And they came to an area here that was looked like a real good place to rest up and camp and kind of get situated and rested up and everything. And so they asked Baptiste Bayhylle asked the Chaddock-stalker, the white man, that
Mm.
if it would be okay if that they could go ahead and camp, set up their camp over here, and
Oh,
the white man said, yeah. He said that'd be good. Yes, you guys can go ahead and set up over here, and so that's what they did. And so they made there was a stream, and there was a lot of grass, and there was like a grove, a wooded area, and they set up their corral for their animals, their horses, kind of built it next into the stream right there. And that way they wouldn't have to haul water to their animals, they would be right there. Plus they'd be corralled in.
mm.
Well, the next morning, all their animals were out, and it was into the farmer's cornfield. And of course, he was kind of a little perturbed, but he said it won't happen again. Baptiste Bayhylle, said it won't happen again. We'll keep an eye on it. So he told his wife, he said, somebody had to do that. It wasn't an animal. He said, tonight I'm going to sit up and check it out and see. And then, sure enough, later on that evening, that night, he was sitting there, and there come a figure out from the hill there, the creek there, and it was he hollered out, who is it? And then he said it in English, and then he said it in Pawnee, and the reply back was, no, Pawnee, Chaddock, and he said, we're the same. And here it was a Scalp Man. And so they were talking, and he said, let your animals out because it's right by my place where I'm staying at, where I'm living at now here, and if you could move your animals, I sure would appreciate it. And so he did. And so since they were camped there for a few days, well, every evening, he would meet with this Scalp Man, and that Scalp Man told him, that there was other scalps living up along that ravine there, and they were all Pawnees. And so Bayhylle and his family, they were cooking large amounts of food, fry bread, meat, and soup, and they were taking it, and then the Scalp Man in turn would turn around and distribute it to the rest of the scalps that were living in that area there. And so on that third day, he had asked Baptiste Bayhylle to go to town and get some a black scarf, a handkerchief, a corncob pipe, and a slab of tobacco because he was going to make Indian tobacco, and he was going to smoke. And so he did. He went to town and got what I requested, and then that evening when he brought that food and stuff, he gave him everything, and then he told him, that tomorrow, we're leaving, and And the Scalp Man, of course, was kind of sad, because they had a family or relatives, if you will, the Pawnees, they were there, and so he said, well, dang, you guys aren't going to stay here? And he said, no. He said, we got to go to Oklahoma. We're making our way to Oklahoma, and we don't own this land. It's that white man that, is letting us stay here. And so we're taking off, and the Scalp Man, was according to the story, was real sad. Was real sad that these Pawnees, were leaving that area and heading to Oklahoma. So, but anyways, I just thought I'd tell that story, and because it related to kind of an earlier story that I had told earlier concerning the Pawnee Scalp Man or the Cooks of Hooks. So. But anyways, Chris, I was at a place this weekend, and I found something and said, I got to get that for the honker man. So here you go, man. Yeah, I might be running around your bed tonight, tugging on your blankets.
Well, I want to definitely give David not 1, 2, 3, but 4 sacred ahos.
Thank you very much, Chris.